কেতিয়া পাম?
পামে এতিয়া।
আরে কোৱা না মা কেতিয়া পাম?
কৈছো নহয় এতিয়াই পাম বুলি। এয়া চোৱা পাই গলোহি কুঁৱা।
আরে কোৱা নহয় মা, আমাৰ ঘৰলে নলেৰে পানী কেতিয়া আহিব?
নলেৰে
আরে মাজনী অতি সোনকালে আহিব পানী। জল জীৱন মিছন আহি পালেহি। আমি এখোজ আগবঢ়ালে চৰকাৰে 10 খোজ আগবঢ়াব।
সঁচা? তোমাৰ ওপৰত ফুল চন্দন পৰক।
ফুল চন্দন নহয় মা, স্বচ্ছ জল।
2024 চনৰ ভিতৰত দেশৰ 19 কোটি ঘৰৰ সকলোৱে পাব পৰিষ্কাৰ খোৱা পানী। এতিয়া হ'ব হৰ ঘৰ জল। জল জীৱন মিছন। জল শক্তি মন্ত্ৰালয়, ভাৰত চৰকাৰ।
President Ramnath Kovind asked Comptroller and Auditor General Office to keep track of opportunities for systemic improvements. Assam Chief Minister visits Silchar, reviews progress in projects, says Silchar bypass will be ready in 3 years. Nagaland Chief Minister Nefurio says the process of opposition-less assembly is now complete. Meghalaya government informed State Assembly no decision yet on palm oil mission. And Numaligarh refinery reports record profit, pays more than 6,000 crore rupees to Exchequer. A very good evening, viewers. Welcome to the Northeast News Bulletin from the studios of DDK Guwahati. This is Anupa. Now the stories in detail. In national news first, President Ramnath Kovind has said governments will take serious note of advice made by an institution like Comptroller and Auditor General. He said this will positively impact India's public service delivery standards. President Ramnath Kovind, who is on a 4-day visit to Himachal Pradesh, was addressing the valedictory ceremony of the Indian Audit and Accounts Service Officers at the National Academy of Audit and Accounts NAAA in Shimla today. The President said that while performing oversight functions, the CAG needs to be aware of opportunities of providing inputs for systemic improvements. He said audit engagements provide a unique opportunity of gaining deep understanding of system and place the CAG in good position of suggesting improvements. The past 18 months have been very trying for the country as the economy was badly disrupted due to COVID-19 pandemic.
In the Constitution of India, and he extensively argued for independence of CAG for an effective oversight. The institution, as envisaged by Dr. Ambedkar, has grown in strength in past 7 decades and has made immense contribution to improved governance.
Moving on to Northeast now, in Assam, Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma laid the foundation stone of a multi-utility building of Red Cross Society, Silchar, and attended a meeting with stakeholders of the organization. Speaking at the meeting, he said the importance of a robust healthcare infrastructure has been highlighted by the COVID pandemic. He said the state government has been according top priority to development of health sector in the state. The state must remain prepared for future challenges as well, he said. During his visit, he also reviewed the construction work of Silchar bypass connecting National Highway 306 Silchar Aizawl and National Highway 37 Silchar Karimganj with senior officials of PWD roads. He visited the construction site of mini secretariat Barak Valley at Shrikona Silchar and reviewed its progress. The 116 crore rupees project will be completed in 3 years, Dr. Sarma said in a tweet.
Another 50 lakhs, and beyond that also, for any good work, state government will be always there in the side by side of the Red Cross Society. However,
The Bharatiya Janata Party has released the list of its candidates for by-elections to the Rajya Sabha from Assam and Madhya Pradesh. The party has fielded Ayush Minister Horbananda Sonowal from Assam, while Minister of State for the Information and Broadcasting Dr. L. Murugan will be the party candidate from Madhya Pradesh. It may be recalled here that Horbananda Sonowal was earlier elected to the Assam Assembly from Majuli constituency. Now he will contest for the Rajya Sabha seat vacated by Biswajit Doimari. In Nagaland, Chief Minister Nefurio today in a tweet said that the nomenclature of the United Democratic Alliance (UDA) for an opposition-less government in the state has been unanimously resolved by the legislatures and party leaders of the Naga People's Front and independent MLAs. The 60-member Nagaland Assembly has no MLA in the opposition now. The NPF, the state's only opposition party, was recently inducted into the state government headed by Chief Minister Nefurio to work collectively towards achieving a peaceful and amicable solution to the protracted Naga political issue. Still in Nagaland, Union Minister of State for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Electronics and Information Technology Rajiv Chandrasekhar today visited Monken Apparel and Garment Production and Training Unit in Dimapur, which is a convergence project under his ministry. During an interaction with officials, Additional Director Duda Anugla Form highlighted how Monken brand was initiated by the Department of Underdeveloped Areas to create economic opportunities for local designers, artisans and craftsmen from Nagaland. Speaking to the media, the minister said the skills, the artisans and quality of work in the centers in Nagaland were of world standard and were completely consistent with what the Prime Minister Narendra Modi wants.
And the artisans and the quality of the work in many of the centers that I visited in Nagaland are world class, and the centers just need a little bit more support, a little bit more patience. This is completely consistent with what our Honorable Prime Minister wants, which is to have traditional skills and traditional artisans be connected to global markets for their products, for their services, with the right amount of skilling input and the right amount of financial support.
In Meghalaya, Forest and Environment Minister James P.K. Sangma on Friday said the state government has not taken any decision to introduce palm oil cultivation in Meghalaya. Replying to a start question in the assembly raised by West Shillong MLA Mohendra Rapsang, Sangma informed that the government is awaiting decisions and guidelines from the central government before taking a decision. The autumn session of the assembly concluded on Friday after 8 days of deliberations on various issues pertaining to development projects. The Goods and Service Tax Amendment Bill 2021 was also passed. During the 8-day session, the law and order situation in the state was also discussed in length. In Assam, higher crude throughput and increase in overall margins resulted in Numaligarh Refinery Limited posting a record net profit of 3,036 crore rupees, an increase of 120% over the previous year. The net worth of the company has increased to more than 5,500 crore rupees as on the 31st of March 2021. The outstanding financial performance has also led to the highest ever contribution to the government exchequer at more than 6,000 crore rupees. This was informed by the NRL Managing Director S.K. Borua in Guwahati today. The media briefing followed the 28th annual general meeting of the NRL Limited earlier in the day.
ক'বলৈ গ'লে 2,760 কোটি টকা আমি ডিভিডেন্ড হিচাপে লাষ্ট ইয়াৰ আমাৰ শ্বেয়াৰহোল্ডাৰক দিয়া হৈছে, which works out to around 375% of the shareholding. এইটো মানে তাৰমানে 10 টকা এটা শ্বেয়াৰত 37 টকা 50 পইচাকৈ আমি ডিভিডেন্ড দিছোঁ.
Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that the GST Council has turned down a proposal to bring petrol and diesel under the ambit of GST. Explaining the stance of GST Council on the issue, she said the proposal to bring the petroleum products under GST was brought under the Council before a Kerala High Court order, but states turned down the motion. The GST Council has decided to report back about it to the court. At present, crude oil, natural gas, diesel, petrol and aviation turbine fuel are out of the GST umbrella. Union Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba today chaired a high-level meeting to review and discuss the COVID management and response strategy through video conference in the presence of Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan. It was attended by the Chief Secretaries, Additional Chief Secretaries, Health Principal Secretaries, Health Municipal Commissioners, District Collectors and other senior officials of the states and Union Territories. Union Health Secretary highlighted the emerging challenge of serotype 2 dengue in 11 states, which is associated with more cases and more complications than other forms of the disease. Now into the COVID update from the nation. India administered highest ever single-day vaccinations with 2.5 crore doses given in last 24 hours. A total of 35,662 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. Active cases account for 1.02% of the total cases and the active caseload stands at 3,40,639. The recovery rate is currently at 97.65%. Over 33,700 recoveries were reported in the last 24 hours, which took the total recoveries to more than 3 crore 26 lakh. Over 55 crore COVID tests have been conducted in the country so far. In the COVID update from the region, Arunachal Pradesh logged 505 active cases, 53,252 discharged cases, while the death account for 271. In Assam, the caseload for active cases is 3,818, while 5,86,391 have been cured. The tally for the death is 5,788, with 2,272 active cases. Manipur recorded 1,14,023 discharged cases. The death toll stands at 1,826. Saddled with 1,952 active cases, Meghalaya has recorded 75,883 cured cases, even as the death accounts for 1,371. Mizoram has a caseload of 14,295 active cases, followed by 63,518 released cases. The death accounts for 254. Nagaland has 471 active cases, as cured cases logged at 29,657. The tally for the death is 652. Reporting 756 active cases, Sikkim has notched up 29,704 released cases. The death toll is 379. Lastly, Tripura reports 404 active cases, 82,598 cured cases. The death accounts for 807. The Union Government has extended the deadline for linking of PAN with Aadhaar by 6 months till March next year. Earlier, the time limit was 30th of this month. The Income Tax Department has said that a decision has been taken in continuation of central government's commitment to address the hardships being faced by various stakeholders due to COVID-19 pandemic and considering the presentations received from various stakeholders over the issue. The due date for completion of penalty proceedings under the IT Act has also been extended from the 30th of this month to March next year. To end the news, main points once again. President Ramnath Kovind asked Comptroller and Auditor General Office to keep track of opportunities for systemic improvements. Assam Chief Minister visits Silchar, reviews progress in projects, says Silchar bypass will be ready in 3 years. Nagaland Chief Minister Nefurio says the process of opposition-less assembly is now complete. Meghalaya government informs State Assembly, no decision yet on palm oil mission. And Numaligarh refinery reports record profit, pays more than 6,000 crore rupees to Exchequer. That brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.